Hi everybody, it's Brandon.
And Josh.
And before we start today's episode, we just want to give a little plug. Give us a like.
Or subscribe to this channel.
And follow us on Instagram for all of your daily drama and art needs.
Woohoo! Check back every week for more content from yours truly.
And hope you enjoy the episode.
Ciao.
Until we get another theme song, this'll have to do. These are your blues reviews.
Hey guys, it's your boys Brandon.
And Josh, welcome back.
Yeah, and we're here with another regular booze reviews. I don't know if you've seen some of our Drag Race reviews, but those have been going steady. But we thought we'd bring you something that's currently in theaters. You can go see right after. This
is our review of Jordan Peele's hit movie,
Us.
What are you people?
It's us.
Yes, and who's your alter ego here today, Brandon?
I am serving my tethered Nehemiah.
Nehemiah.
He didn't get the dye for the red, so he's going with a black and white on.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
He's in the waiting list.
Right.
He'll get it soon.
Fingers crossed.
And my character
who are you giving?
Is Isaiah. A little tribute to the Old Testament, hence the Jeremiah 11:11. Isaiah the prophet.
Yeah.
He was a bad boy.
Shut your mouth. You just talk about Isaiah.
See?
And I can dig it.
There you go.
All right, so we are here. Like you must know, this is Us by Jordan Peele. This is his sophomore movie after the cult classic and breakout hit Get Out took everything by storm last year.
Yes.
You have not seen Get Out.
I have not. I did see Keanu.
Did you see Keanu?
Well, I don't know. I did.
Should we tell him now? Should we tell him now?
That's a sort of a pot smoking kind of movie. I think that's why it's Brandon's favorite. But Brandon kept telling me the whole time that Jordan Peele was in Keanu, and I was like, oh, really? And then today I had to Google Jordan Peele, and I'm like, oh, he's black?
It's like, what movie? What movie did you see?
You shouldn't have fed me that cookie.
Well, anyway, Jordan Peele, this is his follow-up movie. He did win the Oscar for Get Out, so there was a lot of pressure on him to deliver with this. And I'd say he did it. I really like this movie, but we'll get into some of the get into all of it for you guys.
Yeah. The concept's great. Let's jump right into the beginning of the movie.
Okay, so we start out the movie. We see a commercial. A flashback commercial, an old school TV that my grandparents had at their house. I remember that TV. We see a commercial for Hands Across America.
Yes, which was...
I wasn't born, so how was it?
I thought that was a stupid thing. I always tried to understand. I got it as a concept. I was like, that's kind of cool. Like,
do you remember seeing
Oh, yeah. They used to have them all the time. PBS, baby. School specials.
Bird and Ernie, come on.
And I don't know how it worked. I guess, like, one day, everybody on different time zones got up at 1 hour or whatever and joined hands. And it's like, okay, it's a cool concept. But I don't know. It's like, what's the point?
It sounded like something Nancy Reagan dreamed up.
Right. She had to contribute something. So anyway, so the year is 1986, and we have this beautiful little African-American girl who is just like living her life, only child. Yeah. She's got a dad that is, and a mom that I can't tell if they're... I feel like they're divorced or they're like split up or whatever, but I guess they're not. It doesn't say that.
There was a lot of tension between them. Well, because the dad is sort of like a drunk.
He just likes to have a good time.
He's at least tipsy at this carnival.
He is tipsy.
And the mom seems like she's had it with him, and she seems very protective.
Yeah, so they're out on the boardwalk at beautiful Santa Cruz, California.
Ooh, lovely place.
Which you've been to, but I have not.
I have. I've been there. It's nice. It's a quiet little town. It reminds me of like a classy Myrtle Beach.
Oh, nice. There you go. And the dad is actually winning prizes for the little girl, which I thought is sweet. That sort of sounds like good. But she chooses a Michael Jackson Thriller shirt, right?
How many notes is that?
2.
Okay. Just making sure we ain't got nothing taken down yet.
So I thought that was interesting. A little girl that would choose something horror type shirt, but gives a nice preview into what's to come.
After that, so dad wins her the shirt, and then mom says she needs to go to the bathroom, and dad wants to play whack-a-mole, which I was like, hell yeah, I see where he's coming from.
Brandon is the whack-a-mole champion.
I always win at whack-a-mole. Yeah. I don't know about now. My reflexes are a little slower.
Back 9 years ago, you sure knew how to whack-a-mole. Today he's out of practice.
Well,
And more things than one.
so Dad is playing whack-a-mole, and young little Adelaide, she seems to be like in a trance. She just kind of walks away while Mom is gone and Dad's playing. She walks towards the beach on the boardwalk, and she sees like a couple playing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, and she passes by this homeless guy with the Bible verse, Jeremiah 11:11, instead of a "will work for food" sign. So there's some cryptic biblical stuff going on.
Instantly, I wanted to pull out my phone and be like, okay, well, what's that Bible? I know that's going to be important.
Oh, you didn't know what it was right away?
Some of us are heathens.
Some biblical scholar you are. No, honestly, I didn't know what it was either.
But I felt like that would be disrespectful. You're in the movie theater. They have that preview. Please, the movie's on the screen. Put your phone down. Yeah. So I didn't take it out, but I wanted to be instantly like, what is that verse?
Well, I figured it would come back to it later, and it never does directly.
No, they never say exactly what it is.
So your job was to look it up.
Yeah. Which...
So
yeah,
we'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
So the little girl comes out, and there's some like teenagers drinking on the beach, and I'm like, okay, she's gonna get like molested by these teens or something. I had no idea what it was about. I just know it was sort of like mystery, suspense, horror, right, genre. But she doesn't go out to join them. She instead goes into this creepy ass looking funhouse on the beach, facing away from the boardwalk and the carnival. It's dark
so
and like
creepy.
I'm like, I would not walk in there as an adult man. I don't know what she was thinking.
Yeah. So she goes in, and it's like called a Native American Vision Quest. So she goes inside, and there's like a forest scene, and an owl pops out and gives her a jump scare. We're like, okay, cool. So we're seeing what's going on. So in the middle somewhere, there's just like a hall of mirrors, and she's whistling Itsy Bitsy Spider, trying to keep herself calm while she's in there.
That song, I never realized how damn creepy that was until you put it in this context. I was like, oh, girl, okay.
Yeah, she might have been creeping herself out more than helping herself.
And then all of a sudden the power goes out, which I would be screaming like a little girl. And she sees the exit sign, obviously, like the illuminated exit sign. The power goes out, and she tries to find it. She runs into a mirror, and I'm like, oh my god. Can you imagine a fire hazard in a funhouse mirror house?
Yeah.
So she gets lost, and she keeps seeing her reflection, and all of a sudden, she looks up, and it's not her face in the reflection, but it's the back of a little girl's head that looks just like her. Turns around, blackout.
Ooh, we don't know. Jordan Peele is setting us up.
Right.
So I thought this opening scene was very effective. I didn't know where we were gonna go for this.
I love not seeing like previews for movies or reading anything about them before you go, especially when they're mystery suspense like that, because it's like it can go so many directions.
Yeah, and you hadn't seen Get Out, so you didn't know anything about Jordan's style or what sort of themes he might be talking about.
I just know he was making puberty jokes on Big Mouth. I was like,
well, it could have been that. She could have flashed forward. Basically, it was a flash forward because we get a little bit.
And the psychiatrist.
The mom and the parents are in the psychiatrist's office, and they're saying she hasn't talked since the incident, and the dad's like, well, she was only lost for 15 minutes. What could have happened to her in that short amount of time? Yeah. But like she's just shut down.
Yeah.
And so
she's not talking, and so they tell her to find another form of expression. Yeah. Poetry, drawing, or dance.
Music would have been a good one. I'm for that.
I like for the dance.
I like the idea of, embrace your arts.
There you go.
But so she goes into dance, and that's kind of where we leave the past.
And all of a sudden, she is an adult in present day with a husband and two children.
Kids. The family headed up by the incredible Oscar winner Lupita N'yongo.
Oh my god, she's fantastic.
Yes, Lupita can do it.
She just has such an interesting look too that's like captivating. Those eyes are so big and so expressive. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And the husband?
Played by Winston Duke, who actually got his first movie role in Black Panther.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was M'Baku, the head of the ice Gorilla King area.
I didn't realize that.
That's a sexy, thick chocolate, man.
Yeah, he's looking good.
He was looking good. But yeah, his first two movies were Black Panther and Avengers and Infinity War. And now his third is here in Us.
Okay. Nice.
And the kids
were great.
The kids were great actors as well.
We get to this scene where they're actually going on vacation. They're going to their vacation house. Close to Santa Cruz,
yes,
but not on the beach because the mom is like staying away from the beach. So clearly something traumatic happened to her.
Yeah.
And they are finally talked into getting all checked in. The dad's got a boat, And the neighbors are friends of theirs and talk them into coming to the beach. So they do show up there.
Yeah.
And that's when we have sort of this connection that we're seeing from when she was a child, because now we know it's at Santa Cruz.
She's getting nervous. She's like, wait, I was okay to come to Santa Cruz,
Yeah.
but now you want to go to Santa Cruz and on the beach?
And then she pulls up and it looked like a drug dealer did. Jeremiah 11:11.
I mean, somebody, he was looking rough, getting put in that ambulance, and you know, she's like, oh, what?
Would that affect you as a child? Like, she's like, children, don't look. If you see,
If
like,
you
a
saw
child
that
that's getting its dad on a stretcher getting pulled away.
I don't know. It may just depend on what you're exposed to. I think if the older daughter, no, I think she's had a chance to figure that out. And the younger son, I don't think it would have bothered him either. I think
Yeah, not seeing someone dead. Now these little kids are about to see a whole lot more than that.
Okay. Stay tuned.
So they
Views. So they pop down on the beach and they meet their friends, and we find out the other couple, played by Tim Heidecker and the great Elisabeth Moss of Mad Men and Handmaid's Tale. And they're playing this sort of like wealthy, but they secretly hate each other married couple. They're always throwing barbs. It reminded me a little of You and Us.
Oh yeah, sidebar.
Yeah, little shade digs here and there. I don't know. We do it out of love. I know we do it out of love because we find it funny.
We couldn't tell if they were in love or not. They were like the mom and dad at the beginning.
Oh, that's a good parallel.
Yeah,
okay, shout out.
apparently
New
Jordan-
theory.
Yeah, see?
New
Maybe
theory
they
for
are.
John. Who are you, Isaiah?
Isaiah.
Oh, Isaiah. That's right. New theory for Isaiah.
Because you know Josh is the white boy. The man on the beach.
Oh yeah. I remember you. We were sitting next to each other, and Elisabeth Moss' character goes, "Josh, of course, he's always on." And I was like, "Yeah, of course, Josh is always on. Can't turn it off."
See? Something about that name. Just always
But they also have two twin girls who are creepy as hell. I thought these were like the Shining girls.
Yeah.
Grown up, they were creepy no matter where they were
They
at.
were just so...
But they were that typical, like
14-year-old blonde white girls that you just roll your eyes at every time you see them all.
yeah, they're not... I don't think we're millennials technically, but they're the generation after that really are into their technology.
Yeah. Gen Z never looks up.
Yeah. So the daughter is friends with the little twins, and they're sort of the typical young girls.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden this little boy be sneaking off again like Mama did when she was a kid.
Yeah.
Where's Jason?
Jason?
Where were you?
Go to the bathroom on his own.
Okay.
And there's that creepy ass fun house, mirror house.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, here we go again.
But twist.
He comes out.
No, do you not remember? Instead of going, he never makes it to the
Yeah.
fun house
Yeah.
because on the beach he sees a man in a red jumpsuit, mine is white, but red jumpsuit with blood coming out of his hands, just standing there.
Doing like the...
Yeah, he's doing like a Christ posed-ish type thing.
Yeah.
And we don't see him react to that. We don't see him get scared. We cut back to Lupita, Adelaide.
She freaked out.
She's freaking out.
I'm like, damn, is that okay? Party's over. She is like screaming at this kid.
I know, I would have understood her, but you would have been like, who is this bitch shutting down the fun times over
The
this?
beach day is over and they go back and they're home and they're just kicking it and I think a day passes because there was the nighttime with the girl in the phone underneath her bed.
Yeah,
Maybe that was the same night.
I don't know what. I'm pretty sure it was the same night. But her husband, she kind of sets the kids to bed, and then finally, when the parents get into the room, she tells him why she's so freaked out because he was like, "Honey, what was that about today?"
Yeah.
And she explains to him how now she's starting to remember the time that she got lost in the fun house and how it freaked her out. And she says, "I've always felt like that girl, it was a real girl. It wasn't a reflection. It was a real person. Mm-hmm. And I've always felt like she's coming after me. I can feel her like coming for me."
Yeah, some weird shit starts happening and all of a sudden it's like, she's coming for you.
Right. And so I don't know how or who notices, but
The little boy comes running in, he's like,
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors. But y'all scared of a family?
and then he comes out and looks, and there is this four family members. You can't even tell who they are, what they're wearing, anything
Yeah.
like that. They're just shadows. And he starts talking to them and is like, you guys need help or you whatever? Nobody responds. And so he's ready to kick him off his land. Would you be freaked out? Would you be going out like...
I would, but I thought this was actually played a little comical because at first he like tries to do his play. Hi y'all, well we don't want to cause any trouble, but can you get off our property?
Right.
And then he comes back and then he comes like, all right, give me the baseball bat. He was like, hey yo man, get off my property. I was like, wait a second, now the black wants to come out?
Right.
Now Gabe Wilson wants to be hard?
No, that was totally you. You're such a nerdy like. And then, but don't make the black come out because it will once in a while.
Unbelievable. One simple request, who and why, and you make a big song and dance about it.
I ain't no bitch, Chef. I don't give a I ain't no bitch.
What?
I'm not no bitch.
You heard it. Y'all heard it. It can come out. It's possible.
It's possible.
So yeah, but no, I would have been freaked out. 4 people just standing at the top of the driveway, and when you say something to them, no one flinches, no one moves an inch. That was
Yeah.
I was starting to get very
The whole
nervous.
scenario is creepy. And so they call the police right away, and the police are like, oh, we'll be there in 20 minutes, and 3 hours later they roll
Fuck
in.
the police.
Fuck the police, come
Sorry.
straight from the underground. So, a little tip of the hat to NWA.
Yeah.
They become aggressive. All of a sudden, they're coming after him, and they're coming in the house.
What did you think when like they gave the signal and like because they okay, so one of the taller you can tell it's a family with 2 adults and 2 kids, and one of the adults gives like a snap and gives a signal, and the 2 kids scatter like little
Like little
cat
animals.
Yeah. What did you think about all this part?
Well, then all of a sudden you know that it's a planned attack. It's like an orchestrated event, and they're coming for him. And it's like, okay, well, what is this? And that's when you actually start to see that it's an African-American family.
Yeah.
They look alike. I mean, I honestly didn't know until the credits that they were the same actors, played by the shadow people.
Didn't know Jordan Peele was black. Didn't know that Lupita and them all play dual roles.
All I'm saying is life is so much better to live when you're oblivious to
Life is
everything.
painless for the... Oh, 3.
Bitch.
You like musicals. I thought I'd sneak one in there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so then we get the home invasion portion, and we see the family come in, and like you said, it's them. And so
The dad be getting his ass kicked all over this movie, by the way.
he gets his knee busted in, and he crawling on the floor. And so the family doesn't hurt them just yet. They sit them all down in the living room, and we notice that each one of our main family members has a equal doppelganger, a perfect clone on the other side. But we noticed that only Adelaide, the mom, only her doppelganger can speak.
Not very well either.
She can speak.
She sounds like she got a crushed voice box, dude. She's like,
Ooh, that's actually. That's almost exactly the same pitch. Everything is how she sounded. That's really creepy. Maybe you are the doppelganger. I am the doppelganger. That's fine. I'll take him over there. So she has Adelaide handcuff her so she can make sure she's sitting down. She wants to tell her why she's here and all this. And so we hear this tale from the doppelganger who's dressed in her red jumpsuits, got her gold scissors and her one glove. We hear that for every time that Adelaide got a positive thing, she got a negative thing. So when she would get presents that made her happy, whatever, she would get things that would hurt her. She fell in love with the husband. She also married the husband, but his version was his opposite. So he was a wild and dangerous sort of man, and the kids were monsters compared to her kids.
Yeah.
And so,
what did you think of the concept at this point in the movie when it was like, oh my god, there's a shadow person or doppelganger for every character?
It's hard because I had mixed feelings at that. I liked the idea, and because the boy even says, they ask, who are you? And the boy says, it's us. Yeah. So I was like, okay, if you've ever watched Cinema Sins, roll credits. But then I was like, okay, I like the idea that the monsters are a reflection of ourselves. But then when she started going into the story about how she lived life, like basically on the mirror opposite, I was like, what kind of Are You Afraid of the Dark BS is this?
at me, I'm Zebo. Zebo. Hand over the dough. What do you think I am, some kind of clown?
What do you think I am, some kind of clown?
Yeah, that was interesting. I was still trying to wrap my mind around the whole concept. I was thinking that it was like a figment of their imagination, like the people weren't real, but they had gone back to this time and place, and then all of a sudden these events were going into place. And what you were seeing is that the people, the shadow people, was actually them, like they said, it's us.
Yeah.
But that it was like the center of them. Since the Bible verse was there, I was thinking, oh, this is like the dark other side that you don't let the world see.
Okay.
Like those like bad thoughts or dirty thoughts or whatever.
So
that's,
not
like,
a physical being, but like a metaphysical manifestation.
Like a spirit of like the evil that every single person like supposedly has inside them.
Oh, you mean like the full German version of the doppelganger?
Right.
Shout out to Schubert.
There you go.
Schubert?
Schubert.
We'll play a little bit here and there. So yeah, but it turns out like, is this when she explains that it was like a government thing? Somehow we find out that these are real people and that they were clones made by the government years ago to try to control people.
You gotta tell them Silent Breed is people!
But in the end, the government couldn't actually maintain that control, so they abandoned the project and threw these people underground.
Yeah.
And the girl says that that they feasted on rabbits raw. And so, as anyone knows, I'm a bunny lover. My symbol's the bunny, my mascot's the bunny, and my spirit animal's the bunny. And so I was really upset. I was like, all these cute little bunnies under there just getting...
Apparently, that's what they eat.
Oh, Lord.
I'm confused that if this is going on and there is this kind of underworld, there has to be a door, a portal, or a protection to keep them from coming up. Because why can the little girl just come on up and hang out? It doesn't explain anything like that.
Kinda, in a way. We'll get to why that is. They have this conversation, and so then once Mom Adelaide's doppelganger, whose name is Red, so they do all have names. Red. So Red then gives a signal that the family can kill their other person in what she calls the untethering.
The untethering.
So we're gonna kill you off and we're gonna take your life.
But they don't want to just kill them right away. They want to torture them and make them fear a little bit for a while, for whatever reason.
So Jordan Peele, we get all these high, brainy, intellectual sort of concepts, and then we make the same villain mistake every villain makes. Just kill him. Okay, if we're gonna do it, just do it.
Which they did with the White family. I appreciate that. They're like,
oh, that was my favorite part. So we're gonna get to them. So the family's all chasing around, and it's funny because each doppelganger real person pairing, they kind of fight in the way that that makes sense to them.
Yeah.
So earlier in the movie, the husband bought a boat.
Yeah.
Because he was jealous of Josh's new car or whatever, his status. So he buys a boat. And then so his doppelganger Abraham takes him and drags him out to the boat and is going to kill him on the boat. So that's a perfect mirror. The girl, the young daughter, used to run track, and so her mom's like, just run, girl. Yeah. And so she starts running, and her doppelganger is like, I'm gonna give you a head start, and then takes off running and like can catch up to her.
Yeah.
And the little boy, he likes to kind of wear a mask and do magic tricks and sort of quiet, introverted little boy. And so his doppelganger actually is not that mean to him. He just wants to play.
Yeah. It's like the innocence of youth. Well, yeah, when they started that, especially when she told the girl to run.
Yeah.
And she's like, just run. I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like you can run and you can hide, right? Because the little boy like hides in the closet, right?
Yeah.
Plays. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting. What is the lady going to do? What's Red going to do for...
Oh, yeah, for her killing.
Because I thought it was like the hunting, like we want to go hunting.
Yeah.
You can run, you can hide, you can swim, you can whatever.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't that, or at least it didn't come to fruition that way. It just spread them out so that they had different things going on.
Yeah, and Red and Adelaide, they just keep talking, really. I don't even... So this is all happening. The first big break comes where Jason, the son, is playing with Pluto, his doppelganger. I kind of want to get everyone's names in there if I can. He's playing with his, and he discovers that his boy
is a burn victim.
Well, yes, he's a burn victim. He reveals his mask.
He's a pyro.
So he loves mirrors. Yes. Yeah, like he can actually control his by mirror actions. So he manages to do like a little mirror to get him distracted and locks him in the closet.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I think that's unfortunately one of the plot points that maybe got lost in this movie. It never really explains why Jason at his age, but his sister and older can't perfectly make their person mirror.
Well, yeah, and my problem was, like, if they are connected somehow to the person, they have to have a connection. Like, that makes sense when the foreshadowing comes early and the little boy figures out how to, because children's intuition is always like they're the first ones to see a ghost or to whatever happens, right?
You know,
so it's like, okay, he figures it out, and now the rest of the movie I'm thinking like, okay, the parents will figure it out eventually. They're slower to learn, but they'll figure out how to control their shadow self, right? And that
really work
falls
that way.
through. Like that never comes to fruition.
So that was fine. So they lock him in the closet, and Red, hearing her son screaming in the closet, gets up to go, and that allows Adelaide time to break out and get Jason, and they escape. They get out of the house. The daughter Zora, she's running down, and then her doppelganger Umbre, which I love. Shout out Umbre.
Shadow, which means shadow, right?
Yes, Umbra is a shadow, particularly of the moon. So she's running down the street, and hers gets distracted because she jumps on a car, and a guy comes out and is like, "Hey, get off my car!" And she just like slices.
She sure did.
Shanks him.
Was that the first death? I think that's the first death we saw.
That's the first. Yeah, that's the first killing from then that we saw. And so she shanks this guy and giving the daughter time to run back to the house. So the family gets back together, and the dad is on the boat with his, and he managed to knock him off into the water and kill him with the motor. And you even said
that motor is not that strong. It's a little dingy boat with probably got a 40 horsepower motor or something.
That was the most B movie kill,
right? Chopped up the whole 320 pound muscular man. But anyway, the point was, we got the point.
So this is when we cut to Josh and Kitty's house, the other friends. Turns out they've got their doppelgangers are out in the boats too,
right?
And so their doppelgangers come in and just
they go to town. Slice, dice, thank you, ma'am. It's done. And actually, they kills all of them except the mother, who says, Alexa, whatever Alexa's name is.
Ophelia.
Yeah,
we can't use brand names.
Call the police, and she starts playing Fuck the Police. Yes.
Sure enough, I was getting a bop on that.
I think that was my favorite part of the movie. I'm like, yeah, white bitch, you can't get it right.
Right. Our Wilson family comes and shows up at the Tyler's house, and they discover that they've all been brutally murdered. And then the Wilson family's like, well, hell, we in this situation, let's start killing. And so the daughter takes out the twins' doppelganger.
Oh, the daughter is a G girl.
Yes. Shout out to you.
I'm like, Mama tried to hold your eyes from seeing that overdosed dead man on the beach, but girl, you were hard hitting. She was ruthless too.
Played by Shahadi Wright Joseph. Yes, you did that.
Right. If your name is Shahadi, you a bad B, okay.
Right, okay, so she takes him out, and, they kill the rest of they kill the other ones.
And in fact, she kills the mother, the white mother too, doppelganger.
Not quite.
No, what happened?
They even shade her about that later. So
oh yeah, she gets stopped.
She thinks she was about to kill her, but Elisabeth Moss in this. I gotta give a little shout out to her. I thought, I was like, if you're gonna get a star like Elisabeth Moss playing just like the friend, you gotta give her like a bigger scene at some point.
Yeah.
So when she got killed kind of the first time, I was like, oh, Elisabeth Moss didn't get to do much. But then she's back, and so she like kidnaps Jason and the mom and puts him upstairs, and they're trying to break her. And she has this weird like scene where she's looking at herself in the mirror, playing with the scissors around her face.
Getting lipstick on.
At first, I thought the scissors we were gonna cut the face off, and we're gonna have John Travolta, Nicolas Cage face off. That's what I thought the scissors were for.
Actually, for a moment, I thought that too. I didn't think that. I thought that she was going to cut the face, and it was going to be like Nibongo's Red was be underneath it.
Nibongo? Her name is Lupita
N'yongo.
Please, learn it. Lupita. Because the movie poster is the golden scissors with Red and a mask of Adelaide on top. And so that's why I thought,
creepy.
Yeah, the poster is way creepy. It might be creepier than the movie. Yeah, so that kind of happens. They kill the Tyler family, and so they sit down and they want to watch. They watch the news and find out that this is happening all over.
Yes,
and that the people they're all wearing red jumpsuits with the one glove, and they're starting to form Hands Across America.
Yeah. So obviously I didn't like the Hands Across America because I was talking about that, but I also didn't like that it was a whole worldwide thing. I thought the concept would be very cool if it was her and her immediate family, because she was the one that crossed the portal and like the girl found her or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was like that moment that the sun got close enough that it unleashed and let like this family, whatever.
Just the family.
So I think it cheapened it in my mind whenever it was a whole worldwide thing.
I agree.
I was like, and that also presents a lot of logistical problems. I mean, think about it. It's like you have tunnels all the way around America, and they're all somehow like millions of people.
The movie, I agree. The movie, Jordan's idea, I don't know who's to say what his full idea. He may have levels and layers and onions that we don't know. We didn't pick up on.
Well, and on editing too, it probably got, screenwriters cut it down.
I just thought this would have been tighter if it was like you said, it was just that other family and we were just experiencing them facing themselves, because this creates a lot of questions. Because
the black family could have gone in to kill the white family, and that would have added that different element of surprise. And it could have been played where the white family is like, oh my god, their characters, what are you doing? Adelaide and Gabe, and it's really the dark people, and they end up killing them and torturing them.
Why are they gotta be dark?
Because they're shadow people, that's what they said.
Likely story. Right. I see that, but overall, I don't think it took away too much, but it would have just been tighter if that was it. We've killed the Tyler family. We found out what's going on. So now they're like, okay, we got to go. We just got to get out of here. So they steal Josh's new car, and
why got to be Josh's new car?
Because it was Josh's new car.
Oh, okay.
So they're driving away, and as they're driving, the daughter's doppelganger, Miss Umbre, she's booking it. And they go to run her over, and she jumps and she lands on the roof, and she's trying to get in. And so they're driving. The daughter's driving finally.
That was a nice creepy scene. I like that. That was well done.
The mom is handcuffed. Dad's beaten in the knee. So daughter's like, I gotta drive. She's driving. She floors it, but then she stops and flings the girl off.
Yeah, flings the girl off. I kind of wanted to see the mom get stabbed in the leg or something from them having this long dramatic scene about who's driving. I'm like, bitch, get in the car. I wanted to see Umbre come and stab her in the leg and be like, should have gotten in the car when you had the chance.
Right.
That was unnecessary.
This movie always had like random moments of comedy in there
which I appreciate, because that actually adds another human element to it, so it's not always suspenseful.
I appreciated it, but I'm a dark sort of soul person. I was like, just keep it dark. That's fine. I would be fine with that too. So they kill Umbre. She gets flung off, and she's in the trees, knocked out. And then
they get to the boardwalk.
Yeah, which I don't understand. Why did it take all night?
Yeah.
They arrive.
Did you notice that too? I was just thinking about that. Like, it's the middle of the night, and the girl is like laying in the tree, dead. Right. And then all of a sudden, it's like high noon.
Well, maybe not high noon, but at least a good 9:30. Respectable time to get to work. But yeah, that was weird. So they get back to the boardwalk where their car was parked for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
A lot of loopholes here.
Yeah, their car, they show up to the boardwalk and they see the ambulance and it's crashed. And they're like, oh no, this is all spreading.
And so people are dead everywhere.
Yeah, people are on the ground, whatever. And then they pull around the corner and they see that their car, which was at the boardwalk, is on fire.
Yeah.
And Pluto, Jason, the son's doppelganger, is just standing there like flicking, like holding a match in front of this fire. And he's just like having a good old time. And so
they set it up so that he was supposed to kill the entire family that was in the car, because they had a line of gasoline running to the car, and he was going to throw the match on it.
Right. So Adelaide gets out of the car and is like, let me handle this. And while they're watching her, the son, the Jason, the regular son, he goes, it's a trap. He pulls an Akbar. It's a trap. And so they all get out of the car, and he's about to light the trail of gas.
Yeah.
But then Jason figures out the secret.
Yeah, and he starts moving backwards and shadowing the doppelganger, and the doppelganger has to...
Miss Jace.
Right?
Mr. Jason.
Follows on that. And I thought that was the beginning of this whole, like, development of the doppelganger is your actual shadow or whatever, and you know how to control it. You just have to think. I thought that Red was going to get danced to death or something at the end because of the whole dancing.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's dead. Apparently he dies by the shadow.
Everyone's dead, but during this time, while Pluto's being burned up, Red sneaks around and kidnaps Jason.
Takes little Jason.
And so Adelaide's like, I got this. Go get your dad help. So the daughter and the dad go to the ambulance to try to get him situated. We don't really see them for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, that seems like a stupid thing to do too, like to split up, but whatever. That's a
horror movie. Yeah, so you gotta split up.
And then this halfling knows exactly where to go, and she walks through I'm like, that whole sequence of her walking through the house again and knowing the exact, the trap, what do you call it, the, like, emergency, like, hidden door.
Like, where the hidden door.
Right,
yeah.
and then I gotta go through the boiler room, and you gotta take a left and go down some stairs, and then go through this other gate in the door. It's like,
at this point, what are you going to do? I mean, if she thought that this is where this all kind of started from, then that makes sense to me. That's where I would have went.
Well, and then the whole spoiler is that we know at the end why she knows it.
Well, she doesn't. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She doesn't have much memories about any of this. She says she even blocked it out, but somehow the memories are like coming back and she's starting to remember how to get to places.
Yeah.
So she gets through this, and then inside the fun house is this escalator down to the secret underground lab that has just rabbits everywhere.
Okay, sidebar. You live underneath the world, okay? The very beginning of the movie, it has this thing that says there's hundreds of thousands of this and that, like tunnels and abandoned subways and this and that.
Yeah.
So underneath America. Okay, that was cute.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I actually forgot about that little opening.
Yeah, the little opening, like
little
Star
credit,
Wars thing, whatever. And so it's like, it sets it up or whatever. But then it's like, how is this place looking like a fancy high-class mall? It's like, everything is polished, every single light bulb is working, the escalator's got power, there's no rabbit shit anywhere.
I mean, if by high-class mall you mean 1981 Berlin.
Did it not
East
look
Berlin?
Like, no, there was not a crack in the tile, there wasn't one light bulb out, it was like the most pristine, polished, cleaned up.
It's a movie set, baby. You gotta make a set.
I mean, Saw is a movie set too, but it ain't looking like it's been cleaned every hour on the hour by a team of people.
Well, so here's the thing: the people. Okay, so we'll get that. So as we go down, Red and Adelaide interact, and they have a big battle off, and then so Red is at a chalkboard and she's drawing hands across America, and she gives us a little bit more information about how living down there, everyone does mirror the person on the top. So we see some flashbacks of like people riding a roller coaster. When you sit two and two back, we see a bunch of people just standing there going through the motions. Like they don't actually move; they just stand in place and do whatever.
Which further develops the theory that they have to be connected to the person.
Yes, they are connected in a way, but they're not like. They are. It's
like the dance comes, and I'm waiting for Adelaide to figure out that she can control Red, and Red's kicking her ass and out dancing her, clearly. and we know. I mean, you know, we don't know what's gonna happen.
It's very odd, and someone even said, "This is great before you dig too deep. The deeper you dig, the more it hurts your mind trying to figure out what is what." So this whole thing started because so when they encouraged her in the past to take up dancing to do that, the underground version of her also learned to dance and obviously was mirroring that. And then they were saying that the people underground saw that and was like, oh wow, you're different, like you have a special power, and they like chose her to be this leader of a revolution to get their spots back. And so like it makes that all is well and good, so she has developed a little bit more so than the normal underground tethered person. So maybe that's why she can speak, that's why she's not able to be mirror controlled. I don't know, it's a lot.
So we finally get to the big face-off, and here comes Adelaide and Red, and they're in this bunk bed barrack style room, and
stabbing.
They stab him. There's all kinds of. And Adelaide finally, she's still got her handcuffs on. So the nail in the coffin, the final threat is the choking her to death with the handcuffs that she put on her.
Peter went in.
Yeah.
Peter went in on this hoe, just choked her.
Yeah, there was some nasty sort of evil, blooded, gory type internal things with the daughter killing all the people, and I was like, these people are never going to be right again after this.
Well, maybe they'll be fine. They were comparing kill counts, so
right.
Like, I got the high. No, technically, I killed him. I killed him. They were cool with it, so maybe who knows?
So that's the end of the movie. She's dead, right?
No, not quite. So she comes out of the place, she gets Jason, they all go back, and they're all getting in the car, and they're all driving away, and Jason's sitting in the front with his mom, and suddenly Adelaide remembers, my name is Alice and I remember everything. She remembers that on the night back in 1986, in that time that we didn't know where she was, when the doppelganger grabbed her, she actually did knock the girl out, drag her down.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler, right.
If you're watching this, then you hopefully
Come
seen
on.
this movie.
Come on.
Otherwise, you would have stopped it.
Don't blame us.
And been like, these boring fuckers.
We've given it to you.
So all of a sudden, it is a twist of the century. It is the best twist I've seen The Sixth Sense.
Adelaide herself, that we've known this whole movie, is the tethered underground.
The underground one.
And the real one, the surface one, was the girl that was brought up underground. So maybe that explains why she can talk.
Which leads you to believe that, like, the people that have come up for this revolution and uprising of the tethered people will now replace society and become, it's like cavemen evolving into. But apparently they evolve very fast, because if little Adelaide Red came back and she couldn't talk for a couple days, and they took her to a therapist and a psychiatrist, and she started to dance, then she ended up learning how to talk and carry on a whole normal life.
She figured it out. So these people could do the same thing. And then the final shot is we see all the people in their red jumpsuits, and they're reenacting Hands Across America, but they're getting it right. They're doing it for real, because Hands Across America did not succeed the way they thought.
You said you weren't even alive then.
I did my research. I did my research for this episode.
They were doing it right. See, that was stupid. That was hokey to me. But the very last little sprinkle on the icing of the cupcake that we just had served to us is that the little boy in the front seat with Adelaide looks up and gives the look like, bitch, I know.
Yeah, yes, I did see that.
And I loved that. Was so subtle. And sometimes
she even smiles. A nice little smile.
She's like, yep.
That's me.
He was the closest one to the funhouse. He was the closest one. And he's the closest character to her as a mother. It's like the baby, the protected baby. And maybe because of that, he knows.
So here's what I thought would have been even cooler. Mm-hmm. They showed earlier that Pluto, his doppelganger, was a burn victim. So obviously, if they switched places, we would have known.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been cooler if that wasn't the case. And that first time where we saw him see the man bleeding on the thing, but then we cut back, that he got switched. And then if he got switched, and then they give each other that eye, like, I see you.
Yeah.
That would have been just over the top for me.
Yes.
That wasn't quite what Jordan went for, but still good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, before we leave, about Jeremiah 11:11.
I'm not about. Give it to us.
What's the context of the verse? It is, therefore. Shit, I don't know.
I thought you was gonna give it. I'm not the. You have the church talk.
At least I didn't lie.
So
I said I didn't know what
the summary for this was that they cried out to the Lord, and the Lord says, "I hear them, but I will not hearken unto them."
Right.
And it's referring to people worshiping false idols, because someone gave it in context that this is part of Jeremiah where he's letting the Jews know that your Messiah is coming, you must worship God, and they're worshiping all sorts of other things. And this is referring to, if you're worshiping false idols, God's not coming to help you.
But see, I don't really think you need to, who cares about the Jewish background of it? It's not important. What I thought was cool is that it's like, there's going to be a time where there's a rise up, and there's nothing you can do, or no God's going to come to help you if these shadow people come and take over. It's like, you can cry to God, but God will not listen.
So, what do you think Jordan was saying with that then?
I think he was saying that there's no hope for the people. That once the shadow people take over, that there's no hope of.
Well, Jordan's very metaphorical. So so his shadow people. Here's what I thought. I thought his shadow people were indeed a metaphor for the lower class, the impoverished people, and like Adelaide. At one point I was thinking, I was like, what black family do we know that has a beach house or an extra property or an extra, not saying that that's not impossible, but growing up in a black family that didn't have a lot of money, that's just not something we ever thought of, having an extra beach house or something like that. And so I thought Jordan was playing up that, we've oppressed the people, we look past homeless people, and we are into our technology, our new, Josh had a new car, the dad had to get a boat, Missy needed a face, she talked about getting a little procedure here and there, the twins were always on their phones. And so when we ignore those people, eventually they'll realize that they have strength together and rise up against and kind of take back the land. That's kind of where I thought he was going with it.
Yeah. Maybe I'm still disappointed that it's a whole civilization of people that have come, and it's this one little girl apparently underneath Santa Cruz that convinced the entire world of underworld to do it. I really like the idea of having the one family rise up and then the whole battle being between them, and then it goes back to normal. So I think the Jeremiah 11:11 was that it's not going to go back to normal. This is the new normal.
Okay. But overall, I loved it. I can't wait to see what Jordan does next.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
I can't wait to see his next movie either.
Yeah, so
let us know what you think. Subscribe to our channel. And
give us a like, give us a comment.
We're going to have some more videos like this coming out soon.
Yeah.
Movies, theater shows, theater productions, and
let us know what you want to see. We are always open to suggestions. If there's a movie, a play, or anything that you want to see us do, let us know.
Cheers.
But until then...
This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now. Look what I'm whipping now.